Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Before we begin, here's how to earn continuing professional education credit for attending this session. There are no polling questions or attendance checks. Instead, you will demonstrate your knowledge by taking a brief multiple-choice quiz using the Earmark app. Visit earmark.app in your web browser. You can also download the mobile app by scanning the QR code on the screen. Log in, or if you're new, create your free account. Be sure to use a valid email address because that's where we'll send your course completion certificates. From the home screen, scroll down to find the course. You can also tap the magnifying glass icon to search for the course. Tap on the course artwork, then the Enroll button. On the Course tab, you'll find the recording and quiz questions. Complete the quiz to earn your CPE certificate. It takes us a few days to create the course on the app, so if you are attending this session live, please wait a few days. We'll email you a link to the course when it is ready. If you have questions or need help, email us at support@earmarkcpe.com. And now, on to the event. Buckle up, accountants. It's time for another Earmark Expo, where we're taking the latest accounting tech for a test drive. I'm Blake Oliver. Here's how it works. We're about to floor it with a live demo of a game-changing app. My co-host David and I will be in the driver's seat, putting this app through its paces and asking the tough questions every accountant wants to know the answers to. And guess what? You're along for the ride. We want you, our live audience, to help us navigate. Ask your own questions through the chat, and we will highlight them for Nikita to answer. This is your chance to see cutting-edge accounting tech in action, get your questions answered in real time, and gain insights that could transform your practice. So, take a seat and let's roll with today's Earmark Expo.
So Blake, we're sitting here, 10 days before 1099s and W-2s need to go out. And honestly, I've been procrastinating even starting to do them. And especially, it's just not a great experience when issuing 1099s. So I tend just to do what I do last year, which is fight with QuickBooks Online and issue my 1099s. And I also find it's highly annoying work on both sides, right? The 1099s I need to do, yes, but then as a business, I get a slew of emails from other companies asking for a W-9. Sometimes I can just reply and attach our W-9. Other times I get to send to a site to upload one. Other times I have to type what's on my W-9 into a form. So I'm hoping today's Expo will show me a better way for me, both as somebody that needs to create the 1099s, but also as a person that needs to upload my W-9s to sites. So I'm hoping that today's demo will take care of this.
And we've got Nikita here from TaxBandits, who's going to give us a deep dive into the product. Nikita, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So David mentioned, 1099s, W-2s being a big challenge this time of year. But I know that TaxBandits does that and a whole lot more. Where should we start? What was maybe tell us about what was the origin of TaxBandits? Why create some solution?
Yeah, of course. So TaxBandits is an authorized IRS e-file provider for the 1099 forms, W-2s, 94X, ACA, and just a wealth of other forms. We offer over 70 different forms in an e-file format, including state forms as well. So TaxBandits was originally created because, one, the IRS was moving towards e-file mandates anyways, right? And we wanted to focus on helping businesses save time, save money, improve their workflows, and have the ability to put more focus into their clients and less focus into the filing season. So we created TaxBandits to just help streamline those processes, create that peace of mind for our clients, and get those forms filed timely and within compliance.
That's great. Did you want to jump into the demo?
Yeah, absolutely. So today I'm going to show just a demo of just really some basic overview of how to do the 1099 workflow process in TaxBandits. So starting from our main account, TaxBandits.com, when you first come to our website here, you'll be able to navigate to all of the different resources we offer, including the forms that we offer, the different services, the features that align with those. You'll create your account by signing up. Obviously, today I already have an account ready for us, so we're just going to go ahead and jump into that. I will just preface by saying all of the actions I'm taking today are in a testing account. We are not connected to the IRS. None of this data is real. It isn't going to any federal agency. I like to let people know I'm not filing fraudulent forms today. Sometimes our testing site does run a little bit slow. Sorry for the delay. Just bear with me. Let me see. Don't let this. Right. Sorry, guys. Let me just see what's going on with my test site here. We're going to get it up and running.
No worries. This is always the risk of live demonstrations.
Isn't that the truth?
Happy to
I was on it earlier today. It was fine, but of course, because I'm live now, it's going to throw it back at me.
One of our live viewers, Stacy, says I am a current TB user for my 941 and 940s. I've been waiting for TB to reach out to schedule a demo for me, so this is very timely. So great to have you with us, Stacy.
Love that. We also, we have a full support team and a team that does demos on the fly. So if you ever have those questions, you can reach out, and our team's always happy to assist with that. Jump on a live call, explain the processes, go through any questions that you have in real time. We can look straight into your account and help you through a specific process if you needed to. So a lot of assistance in those areas. You guys, I really do apologize. I'm not sure. I was in it just not even an hour ago.
It's all those last minute 1099 followers.
Right?
Filers.
It has gotten incredibly busy over the last probably 2 days even. We've just seen such an up spike in everything. All right, we are going to transition the plan here slightly. All right, so I've opened up, now I am working in an actual account, so we won't be transmitting today. My testing site is not allowing me to proceed here. Let's see if we can make some progress. So again, when you log into your account initially, it's going to give you just a quick overview of what's going on with our new updates. We're always working to enhance the user experience, create a more streamlined workflow. You'll get an overview of everything happening in your account when you initially log in, all of the recent activity, the form series offered, and you can jump to those specific dashboards if you'd like. Typically, when someone creates an account, initially we want them to start by setting up their address book, which means adding all of their payers to their account. So from here, we're going to just add a payer. This is going to allow you to add all of your recipients or start with that W-9 workflow if that's what you are interested in doing. We have multiple ways to bring your data in, and this applies to all of our different workflows within TaxBandits. We have several opportunities for bringing your data in. We just did recently integrate with Carbon for bringing data in from Carbon. We have the manual data entry option, which is going to allow you to input all of the details line by line per payer. And then we have the bulk upload option, which is primarily what I'm going to be showing today for all of our workflows because it is the most streamlined option. And it best suits the needs of the CPAs, the accountants, the businesses with the bulk upload. So when you initiate the bulk upload process, you'll have two different options. You can bring in just your payer data, or you can bring in your payer and recipient data. Now, when you do the payer and recipient data, you enter the payer details and all of the associated recipient details. So when that template comes through, all of your data is already prepared for that client. This is going to be best utilized if you're adding payers throughout the year. Typically during deadline season, we encourage people just to use the payer data because when you upload your 1099s, you're going to pull your recipient data in with that anyways. So you'd be duplicating the work otherwise. But if you're keeping your TaxBandits account up to date throughout the tax year, the payer and recipient data is the better direction to go. We have the option to use our standard template, which is what we encourage just for mapping purposes. It's an Excel template that you download, you input all the data, and I'll show you this workflow here in just a moment. Then you upload it and it generates all of your payers in your account. We have the option to upload your own file or copy and paste your data, and both of these work very well. The difference is with the upload your own file or the copy and paste option, on the initial import, you have to map all the data yourself. So it'll pull the information in, and then you'll drag and drop the details into the appropriate fields. And then it'll map that for all of the rest of the entries on your template that you've used or whatever copy and paste version you've used.
So I'm a QuickBooks user. I would go create my vendor list, filter it for just my 1099 vendors, export that out, and then I could use the upload your own file feature here.
Yeah, that option would absolutely work, but it doesn't have to be specific to the 1099s. If you have clients that you're only doing the 941s and the 940s for, same thing. You still have to add them to your address book. So you can do all of your payers with whatever form, if it's 1042s or W2s or 94X. Add them all to your address book when you first create your account, and then you can do the specific form workflows at a later step.
Got it.
So for today's purposes, we'll use our own template, as I'd mentioned. We would just download our standard template, and it would download as an Excel spreadsheet. We have the instructions available with every single one of our templates. This is really helpful information because it's going to tell you what character limits and types of characters that are allowed in each field, errors that might come up if you put the wrong things in these fields. A lot of really beneficial information for each of the columns related to the template. And these are downloadable instructions, so you can just save them to your computer and reference them throughout your workflows. I already have a template completed today for the payer upload process. And if everyone can see here, it's a very simple template for the payer details. We're inputting the type of TIN for the payer. Here we're indicating it's an EIN for all of my payers, so I've indicated the number 1. Then we're going to input the TIN details, the name of the business. Now, if it's a social security number instead of an EIN, we're going to have the payer first and last name, but as a business with an EIN, we would just have the payer name. And as we scroll through, we have the address for the payers and all of those necessary details. Again, all of our templates look very similar to this. You're reviewing the columns at the top, inputting the data beneath it. Once we have all of that data input, we'll just, I use Google, so I'll download it as a CSV. Come back over here to my TaxBandits account and just drag and drop that right in there. This is going to provide just a general preview. It's really beneficial if you're doing hundreds or thousands of imports from one template. You can get a general overview of what those are going to look like. I only have a few today, so it doesn't really matter, but it does help if you're doing a larger number on that template. And again, that applies to all of our templates. And then we'll have the import summary to, again, just overview the details. Now, all of our processes have an internal error check to make sure that there's not any major errors with your import. These would be things like you've missed, you put 8 digits instead of 9 on your EIN, or you forgot a zip code, or you've duplicated a record. Those are going to show up in your errors, so you can check those and fix them before the import. Or if it's a duplicate, you can delete one of them prior to importing all of this data, so you don't have to go change it later. If you have several errors, you can export the whole template, fix what's on it, and re-import all over again, or you can export just the errored records. So there's a lot of personalization to it to resolve any of those. You can also edit any of the details from this page or just view it. From here, we're just going to continue to the address book. So now all of those payers from the template we just did are in our address book.
So we had a question that came in,
yeah.
Nikita. Somebody wants to understand if they used TaxBandits last year and they already have the payees in there from last year, do you have to re-enter them again for 2025?
Absolutely not. That's a great question. Everything will stay in your account and roll over year. Additionally, if you import something this year and it's a duplicate record of something you've input in the past, you can either delete the duplicate or override the current. So if you have like an address change or something and you need to override what you've had in your address book, you can do that through your import, but everything will remain in your account. So from here, I'll just quickly show the additional options. Now, as I said, all of our templates are available within the application, so you can download any of our templates at any point during your workflow process, as well as the instructions. We have TIN matching available. Now, this isn't something we're going to showcase today, but it is something to keep in mind because the IRS is moving towards the IRIS, I-R-I-S system for processing 1099 forms. With that, the IRIS system is going to be far stricter on TIN matching than the FIRE system that we had recently used was, which means if the SSN, the EIN, the TIN number, and the recipient name don't identically match the IRS database, it's going to kick the form back to you as a correct, accepted with errors, which then you have to file a correction on. So it's really important that you start working the TIN matching into your general workflows. When you get a W-9, when you get a new contractor, you go ahead and do the TIN matching on that prior to the filing season, just to save you time when that filing season comes. And we do have it in the 1099 workflow, which I will point out when we get to that point. But the option of doing it when you add a recipient is really beneficial. And then we also have the W-9 workflow, which allows you to send a W-9 request electronically. Your recipient would complete it, send it back to you, and it would automatically be uploaded to your TaxBandits account. Once it's uploaded, you can automatically do the TIN matching if that's what you'd like to do. If not, either way, that recipient is added to your address book. So when it comes time to file for them, they're already in your address book. You don't have to re-input their records. Today, as I mentioned, we're going to go through the 1099 workflow. Our 1099 dashboard here, we're just going to click Start New Form. We're going to focus on the 1099 NEC today, but we do offer the entire suite of 1099 forms. And from the menu bar over here, you can see all of the additional forms that we support within TaxBandits.
Do you do 1098Ts? Somebody asked in the question on that.
We do offer the 1098. Yep, we have the 1098T available here.
Great.
So from the 1099 NEC tab, TaxBandits always offers the current and 2 prior years. So right now we have 23, 24, and 25 tax years available. If for any reason you need to backfile, you can choose a prior year from the drop-down. Today we're going to focus just on the 2025 forms. So one of the strongest features that TaxBandits offers is our multiple opportunities for bringing your data in. We have the manual data entry, which means you can select or input the payer right here on the form. You can select or input the recipient directly on the form and complete the 1099 NEC data right here on the form. That's a like one form at a time option. Typically, this is used if you forgot one on your upload, if you have a one-off situation that you need to file, the manual entry is the best. If you're filing, 10, 20, hundreds, thousands of forms, this is not your best solution. The bulk import, which we've spoken quite a bit about, and we'll go through this workflow today, is similar to our payer import with the template. And then we have our import from accounting software option. So TaxBandits integrates with several different accounting softwares, such as Xero, QuickBooks Online, Sage. Intact is a big partner of ours to bring their data directly over Zoho, and we're working on some Carbon integrations as well. So you can absolutely just bring your data over if you're working with one of these alternative options. Today, we're going to do the bulk import. And the process is very similar. You can do your recipient data fields only, or you can do your payer and recipient data fields. Again, the payer and recipient data fields are going to be if your payers aren't already in your account. But if you're keeping up on your TaxBandits account throughout the tax year, then the recipient data fields would be your best solution. We'll just choose a payer from our address book. And again, we have the same options for how to bring your data in. We have our own template, your own template, or a copy and paste. And the only difference is with these, you have to map the data into the fields. This one's going to automatically map it for you. At several points throughout our workflows, we have how-to videos to help you. And of course, our instructions are always available throughout the process. Download them, save them on a second screen if you have it while you're working through it. It's really, really helpful. Let me see. So I already have the details completed on my template here for the 1099 workflow. All of my recipients today are Social Security numbers. I've entered all of their details. Moving through the template here, I've got all of their names, first and last name. And you can see some of these fields have a little asterisk in them. Those are the mandatory fields. If there's not a little asterisk, then the field is not required. We'll have the address of the recipient, and then their compensation amount.
I like how on your templates, the header of each column, you give the instructions of what values you accept in that field.
Right. Yeah. It's helpful. So then you would complete all your boxes just as you would on a 1099 NEC form, and the state details are towards the end. So if you require state filing, you can upload that in your original workflow. We're going to download that one and jump back over to our TaxBandits page, drag and drop, and continue to import. So as you can see, the bulk upload templates are very simple. They're pretty straightforward. The process doesn't take long if you have your data already available to you. Again, all of our processes have an error check within the workflow, so you can make sure your data is compliant with the IRS guidelines, the SSA guidelines. Everything is correctly brought over. So here we have one import error, indicating at least one of the boxes should contain an amount greater than 0. So that means on one of the fields, I didn't put a non-employee compensation amount. If you have a lot of errors, you can bulk delete, go back to your template, fix all the errors and re-upload. Or if it's just a few, you can fix them directly in the application itself. So we can put our field here. Oh, we've got another error here. So as I said, I had to switch over to my live account, which isn't matching my testing account. So we're just going to understand that you can fix your error here and save and continue. And then we can view all of the files that came over correctly. Sorry about that. We can view all of our correct files from here as well. And again, you can edit, change, delete anything from this point in the process. If I'm happy with every...
When it comes to the errors, is it an all or nothing? Like until you fix every error, you can't file, you can't send? You have to have it all done first?
Correct, because our errors are strictly connected to the IRS e-file guidelines. So the IRS is saying unless all of these standards are met, you can't e-file this form.
Got it.
Now, errors related to like the address, the recipient address, you can override those because that's just like a USPS validation. You can say, no, I'm fine with what I've input here and override those. Errors with like the TIN number not being 9 digits or the value, the non-employee compensation value not being input. Those types of things, it's not going to let you override. From here, excuse me, we've got 16 forms import. We can view those forms. We can look at the 1096. Now we offer the 1096 and the W-3 within your account for record keeping purposes. When you e-file, the federal agencies don't actually want this document. So it's not sent to them, but it's always available for you in your account. And if you file this batch and then you come back and you're like, shoot, I need to file another 2 forms for this business, it will update your 1096 appropriately so your data continues to match. You can generate a PDF or a CSV of the document, or you can add more forms. If we view the forms directly, we'll be able to take a look at the individual forms just to make sure everything matches. From here, we'll continue to our state filing process. Now, TaxBandits is going to help you with your state filing details to ensure that you are accurately filing what you need to with the state. So if the state requires direct state filing, it will indicate that this state requires direct state filing and you need to take these steps. If the state participates in CFSF, which is the combined federal and state filing, then TaxBandits will notify you this state participates in CFSF, so you don't need to file directly with the state. The federal agency will do that for you. If no filing is required, we'll let you know of that as well. So it's going to help you understand those processes, which is beneficial primarily if you have employees working or contractors that are from multiple different states. It really helps streamline your process there. So I've put South Carolina here. South Carolina participates in CFSF, so I don't need to file with the state. The government's going to do that for me.
So we had a question come in specifically about filing with the states and the use of boxes 5 through 7.
Yeah.
I'll let you read that here.
Let me take a look. Which one was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, it's on the screen right now.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Correct. So if you input details on lines 5 through 7 on the 1099 NEC form, then it's going to generate state details in the workflow. If you leave those lines completely blank, then it's not going to generate the state filing details in the workflow. But if you complete parts of it, if you put the state in the drop down, or you input any part of the boxes 5 through 7, it's going to ask you to complete the state information. So it is an all or nothing situation. From here, we'll continue to form distribution. TaxBandits offers multiple ways to distribute your forms to your recipients. So we have the postal mailing, which is the USPS postal mailing. TaxBandits will take care of that for you if you choose. We'll send it to your recipient directly, but you have to indicate that. The recipient portal access is the electronic ability to receive those documents. If you indicate recipient portal access, you have to provide the recipient's email address in the bulk upload template prior to the upload. We have to have an email address to send it to. And what that does is TaxBandits would send an email to the recipient and say, this company is giving you electronic access to view your 1099 form. They would click on the link in that email. They'd have to input their TIN number for security purposes and consent to receive it electronically. The IRS requires consent to receive forms electronically. So we take care of that consent piece for you. And then they'd have access to their document. The nice thing is if you file for that same recipient next year, they'll use the same link and they'll access all of the documents from the same portal. So they will be able to track all of their documents year over year in that portal. The other nice part about the recipient portal access and the consent portion is, again, the IRS requires that consent. So if the recipient either declines consent or never opens it, you can look at that information in your TaxBandits account to understand if you need to move forward with a postal mail or another form of distribution. So we'll just make sure that you're in compliance on that piece as well.
So prior to distributing them, somebody wanted to know if the forms themselves can be printed so they can actually double check them, or can you only view them electronically to double check things?
You can absolutely print them, but it will have a watermark on it because it's a draft. Yep.
Probably will
And that
work,
would
right,
be,
for
if you
reviewing.
recall back in the form details here, that PDF export option would allow you to view all of those forms with the watermark on them. So from here, we would essentially be filing our forms. We have a few options. I'm not going to file today because we had to transition into a live account. But with the cart, you can, oh, let me click that. When we add our documents to our cart, they can live in that cart for a little while, or you can move it straight to transmit. Typically, what a lot of our clients do is they complete all of their payers. They complete the data for all of their payers, add them all to the cart, and then make one transaction to transmit forms. But if you would rather, you can add them to a cart and go directly to transmitting the documents. Either way, it's fine. As I mentioned, we do have the TIN verification in the 1099 workflow. This comes with a few caveats, though, because if you do verify your TIN inside the workflow, you're going to pay for the TIN matching and transmit your request to match the TINs. Once the TIN matching comes back, then we'll transmit the forms for you. So there's a delay when you do the verify TIN within the 1099 workflow between transmitting the forms and verifying the TINs.
You don't have to verify the TINs, but it's highly, highly recommended. Am I understanding this correctly?
Absolutely, yes. And as the IRS transitions to the IRIS system, it will become more and more highly recommended because you don't want to have to file a correction. And that's a big deal. So if you have the wrong TIN, then you have to file a correction form. Now, TaxBandits, we have our TaxBandits commitment, which really just says we are honoring your ability to successfully transmit your forms throughout the tax year. So if you do end up needing to file corrections, TaxBandits does cover that at no additional cost. But of course, we want to save you the time to not have to go back through that process, which is why that TIN matching is really heavily leaned on.
There's another question regarding the distribution options. Somebody wants to know if you can do a mix. Like, do you have to choose everybody gets an email or everybody gets a PDF, or can you mix and match depending on the person you're needing to send it to?
That's a really good question. You can mix and match. Everything is very customizable to your needs. So you can choose. Some of them just want postal mail, some want online access, some want both. You can choose that, and that's available in that bulk upload template. You can input that data so that it connects it. And then you can also select it if you don't put it in the bulk upload template, you can select it in the distribution workflow by editing the data there. So it is completely customizable.
Great.
Okay, so from here, the next several steps, this is going to be my cart and continue to processing. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to send fraudulent forms to the IRS today. I enjoy my job too much for that. So we'll skip that part. But I do want to just quickly, I know we have a few minutes, I want to go over a couple extra features that have really benefited our CPA clients, our accounting firms, our clients with more businesses that they handle. Specifically related to our team management feature. I just quickly want to jump into that. So the team management feature allows you to include multiple members from your team in the filing workflow. So you'd have an admin of your account, then you'd add all of the team members to your account. And from there, you can assign your team members specific payers that they're responsible for. And then your team member would get access to create their own secure account. And when they log into that secure account, they will only see the payers that you gave them access to see. And they can complete the forms through that workflow for you. And from your admin account, you can see all of the payers and everything that's happening within your team. That really helps streamline some of those workflows. We also have the role system, which allows you to very clearly indicate who has what responsibilities. The no role system means any team member can do anything. They can create a form, they can transmit a form, they can pay for a form. Any team member you give access to for a payer can do all of the things. The two role means you have a specific individual on your team that prepares the forms, And then they have to get approval on those forms. So then they inform the approver that you've assigned to look at those forms and put a second pair of eyes on it and complete the transmission portion. The third option is our 3 role. So you have your preparer to complete the forms, your approver to set eyes on them, and then the transmitter that handles the financial piece of paying for them and sending them off to the agency.
Now, the approver, can that be obviously somebody at my firm, but could that be the client themselves, where I involve them in a step of this process?
It can be. Typically, it's not. We do have a client portal that I don't know that I'll have time today to show, but again, we have teams to help with that. Our client portal allows you to share that data with your client and get their input on it prior to transmitting. But this process is more geared towards your company and your teams working on completing those documents. Today, we just have the 1 role set up, so all of my team members can do all of the things. We also have what we call groups, meaning you can add payers to a group. So if you have a group in Indiana and you have a group in Tennessee, a team in Indiana and a team in Tennessee, you can create groups specific to those locations. So anytime you add a new payer and you assign them to the Tennessee group, then all of the team members that are included in the Tennessee group will have access to that payer. So again, TaxBandits focuses on helping you customize your workflow to your business needs within the application. We have a ton of helpful resources on these things too, but it's shown to be very beneficial to some of our larger accounting firms that we work with. I think we also, so just for support purposes, we've got, as I mentioned, our live agents are available Monday through Friday. Right now with the deadline, we're here 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have phone, email, and chat support. So 100% reach out to us. We have a whole knowledge base and an AI support available as well. So from our knowledge base, from our little help icon up here, it's all AI based. So you can type a question here and it pulls from all of our resources, both internal and external resources. It pulls from the IRS guidelines and helps provide the answers to you there. And if I transition just quickly back to our website, let me see if it's going to pull my. We have our resources available from the website for our knowledge base, which is very similar to that AI agent I just showed in the application. We have blogs, webinars, and videos. Our YouTube channel is a wealth of information with how-to videos and guidelines. Our knowledge base is a wealth of text information on how-to and step-by-step details on each process that we offer. So there's a lot of really great resources that you guys would be able to have access to and take benefit from.
Great. We're getting a lot of questions come in. Do you want to maybe run through some of those?
Let's get into it.
Got it. So maybe we want to know what kind of lead time they need to schedule help on filing 1042s.
So TaxBandits is a self-service platform. You can log in at any time. It's cloud-based. You can start the process at any time. If you have questions, you can reach out to our support team and we can help answer your questions. Again, we're here during the busy season right now, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're not going to complete the forms on your behalf, but we can help with any questions and you can call us anytime. It doesn't have to be scheduled. If you want a demo on how to do those, we have this little link here that says request a demo, and our team, you can complete the form on that and our team will reach out to you to schedule that with you.
Got it. And another question that's related to timelines. Somebody wants to know about what is the ETA on payroll services for Ohio?
I love the ETA on state payroll questions. Right now, I don't have an ETA on Ohio. I wish I did for you, but we are actively working on adding additional states all the time. So if you have a TaxBandits account, we will send an email update as soon as we release additional states.
Got it. Another question. A few questions related to Sage Intacct. People are really interested in how that works. Obviously, if you don't have time or you can't demo that right now, but there's about 3 or 4 questions that came in specifically about how it interacts with Sage Intacct.
So, one, we have some really great videos on our YouTube channel that show the process starting in Sage and transitioning into TaxBandits. We really don't have time today to go through that. But when you're in your Sage account, there should be some buttons that you click. I don't know the direct process inside Sage that pulls all of your data together. And then there's a button that says file your 1099s. When you click that, it's going to take you to TaxBandits directly, and it'll pull all of that data over. I want to see if I can find this video really quickly, but there's a great video on YouTube for the entire process. And our support team is well trained once the data is over into TaxBandits. The Sage team is well trained in the data while it's still in Sage.
And you have if I remember correctly, on the accounting software tab, you have a connection to Sage Intacct as well, correct?
Yeah. So you when you click that, it's still going to want you to pull. You have to click the button to file your 1099s within the Sage specific workflow to pull that information over. So it has to start in your Sage Intacct account with that one click.
Got it. And then a question about QuickBooks. So if you're, can the integration be done with the QuickBooks Online Accountant Edition to sync each of the clients, or should you one at a time do each client?
That's a great question. I'm not 100% on the answer to that, but I do want to follow up. And I don't know, will you guys share this information that I could follow up?
Yeah, so we can, if you want, you could have your email in here and we can let that person know.
Yeah, we'll do that. So this is my email address. If you want to send us that email, send me that email directly. I will look into it and follow up on that.
Perfect. Thank you. Get another question here. Oh, it's some questions on pricing. So I had a question. In order to get the tiered pricing discount, do you have to purchase the total up front, or will the prices adjust as the purchases move up to the higher tiers?
So TaxBandits offers credits. Your best option in getting those tiered pricing is to purchase a bulk amount using our credit system. If you're just purchasing one form at a time, you're always going to be at the 1 to 5. I think it's a 1 to 5 tiered rate. If we look down here, the federal filing. So if you're purchasing 9 forms at a time and you're transmitting 9 forms at a time, you're always going to pay this $275. If you're transmitting 100 forms at a time, you're going to pay $275 for the first 10 and $175 for the remaining 90. If you purchase credits, which means you buy a huge amount, if you know that throughout your entire tax season you have to file 2,000 forms, then you would purchase credits and get them at that 80 cents a piece.
Okay. So you have to have a little bit of planning to know what size bundle of credits to buy. Makes sense. Someone is wondering, can you show the recipient portal? Basically, how does this look and feel on somebody that's getting notified that they have a 1099 available?
I don't know that we'd have time to show the recipient portal today. However, I do have a video on that. And I can see if I can't pull that video for you and put it in the chat. Okay. We do have a video on that I just actually looked at it the other day, and it's really helpful also. It shows the whole user experience from email to review. Oh, I'm going to look for that and post it in the chat too.
And kind of related to that, if I'm being sent a request for my W-9 information, do I have to create a TaxBandit account to add that information, or can I just add my W-9 and move on?
If you're being requested to complete a W-9, it's just in the form of an email, and then it goes back to the TaxBandits account holder. To complete a W-9, you do not have to have a TaxBandits account.
Great. Another quick question specifically to a form. Can we file 1095 forms?
We do have the 1095 forms, yes.
Somebody wanted to know if you could expand out a little bit on the previous year filings and corrections and how that works.
Yeah, so again, we offer the current and 2 prior years. For 1099s, there'll be all your annual forms. We'll offer 23, 24, and 25 right now. For the quarterlies, like the 941, we offer 24, 25, and since we're into 2026 Q1, we'll have the 26 forms. So the quarterlies, we don't offer the prior year, but you can complete those. All of the workflows will be the same. You'll choose that option from the drop-down menu when you indicate what form you're filing, and you'll choose file for a previous year and just complete it that way.
Some more questions are coming in about the credits. People want to know, do the credits go forward for the next year? Do they keep the credits forever? Do they expire if I don't use them? A lot of questions related to credits.
Yeah, your credits are never going to expire. So if you want to purchase for the next 5 years now and get the best price we can give you, go for it, because they're going to be in there till you use them.
It's like a forever stamp. Got it.
Yep.
Somebody want to know approximately how long does it take to receive the TIN verification?
It varies. So typically it's within a day. Typically it's within 2 to 4 hours. This time of year, because there's so many people requesting it that the IRS is seeing a delay, it can be up to 24 hours.
About a day. Okay. Assuming that question is the same one, I'm going to skip that question. So we want to know about the carbon integration. What is the scope and timeline for that integration to come out?
That's such a good question. Hopefully within the next couple of months. We're still working on some API integration details on that.
Got it. And check for any other last minute questions that came in here. I see you posted the video for everybody. Verification by credits. Oh, somebody would like to see if they had their tax ID changed between 2024 and 2025, how you can actually change that in the app. Can you show that? If
you've already filed with that tax ID within TaxBandits, you can't change it. You'd have to add yourself or add a new business with that updated detail. So for example, if I filed for Blue Willow under this EIN that I have here, then I can't go back and
successfully for 2024. Now for 2025, they have a new tax ID. Do you add them as a new vendor or
Correct.
customer?
You'd have to add them as a new vendor because we don't want to change any of the records from the previously filed forms.
Got it.
Just very quickly, because I forgot to talk about it, we do also give status updates. Obviously, I can't show it here because I'm not transmitting in a live account, but you'll view status updates in your account on transmitted to the agency, received by the agency, accepted by the agency, and same with your postal mail, received by the vendor, submitted to USPS, en route to recipient. There's updates in your account throughout the whole process. So you can view those at any time.
Somebody's asking a question that for me is a nuisance to me. They want to know, can somebody upload their W-9 or do they have to complete the form?
You can upload your W-9s. Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. This is great. Somebody wanted a question on some of the payroll filings. One of basically is like, we'll have another session just on the payroll filings. And obviously you covered a lot of 1099 stuff today, but can you give us the 30-second view of that at least?
Yeah, so we've got the payroll forms, the 94X series forms. Again, we offer the 941s quarterly, the 941X correction forms, the 40s, 45, 43. This is not a bulk upload process, though, necessarily. We do, it's more of a completed individually per payer. All of the forms are available again from here. We do have the SP versions, the amendments, the 941X. We recently released those as an e-file option. I'm just quickly going to jump into a 941 because they all look the same. So the process will be the same. I just want you to view what that looks like. Again, you'll select your employer from your address book, which this is another great reason to get your address book set up ahead of time before you start doing your filings, because it makes it so much easier to just enter the data, except for when I don't have it in there right. So the 941, you'll complete it page by page. We do offer Schedule B as well if that's something that you need. We're going to file for Q4 2025. And you'll just enter your data here, line by line. Anything that's kind of in this bluish color, that's an auto calculation line. Anything that's kind of this white color, that's a line that you have to input data in. If you don't have any data to input, you leave it at 0 and you complete that, like I said, line by line. If you have a 0 return, that option's available as well for 0 reporting. Then you just move on to the next step. You can transition to the second page. I didn't put any data in, so it's going to do some weird things for me. Input all of your, again, second page details. If you indicate that you need Schedule B, it'll generate down here for you to complete as well. The same audit process applies. The difference with this workflow is if you have an error, it's going to turn red here on the screen, and you can fix the error on the screen, or you can fix it in the next step prior to transmitting. It'll say errors and allow you to go back and fix it. From there, you can indicate your details for the signer, your CPA or your PTIN details if necessary. All of that can be entered from here and edited from here. Then when you save and continue, it'll walk you through the next several steps. We do offer the 8879 and the 8453 signature forms that allow you to send that to your client and they can electronically sign. You electronically receive it back. It automatically uploads into your account. There's a process that allows you to automatically transmit. So you sign first, send it to your client, and as soon as they sign, we transmit your form so you don't have to hop back in and do anything from there. The audit, again, will give you any errors that you have. But all of the 94X series forms look just like this flow.
Got it. So we're almost out of time. So I have 3 more questions that came in, but they all probably just need yes or no answers. So we'll kind of turtle through these. Okay. So can you schedule the IRS transmission on January 31st and still process the recipient copies now?
No, you have to transmit to process recipient copies.
Got it. And then the next one that's yes or no. Do you really need a power of attorney to file 1099s and W-2s as well as 940Xs if the client asks you to do so?
You do not.
Do not. Okay. And then this is a question about I know you said before you can print draft copies of the 1099s, but what if somebody says they never got it, so now you need to print a real one? Are you able to do that without the draft watermark?
Yes. So once you transmit your forms, the watermark is going to go away and your professional copies, your payer, state, and recipient copies will all be available to you.
Amazing. We got through all the questions. I don't think there's any other ones coming in here. Like you said, though, if people need to get a hold of you, you put your email already in the chat. And then I'm assuming everybody just needs to go to taxbandits.com. Is that correct?
Taxbandits.com, and all of our support direct email, our phone number, and our chat are all available from there.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much. And Blake, if you want to wrap it up.
Thanks, everyone. Stay tuned for a brief message about how to earn continuing education for joining us today with the Earmark app. We'll see you all around next time. Today's event has ended. To earn CPE, go to earmark.app or scan the QR code on the screen. Then log in or create your free account. Search for the course by tapping on the magnifying glass icon on the home screen and then entering the name of this event. It takes a few days to make the course, so if you're attending this event live, Keep an eye out for an email letting you know when the course is available. Pass the quiz to earn your CPE, then tap the button to email yourself a certificate. Stay tuned for more events from Earmark. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.